Hey there, how you doing? So something I thought I would do going forward, today's the first time doing it, is share with you my investor summaries, more specifically my private investor summaries. If you've been watching this channel for any length of time, you know I have something I use on occasion with friends and family called the 6 in 20 program. It is essentially where I purchase a distressed property with cash. I then go refi it, putting an investor in first position, name them on insurance, go through escrow, put them on title, just all that stuff. And then, over the next 2 to 5 months, I remodel the house, depending on tenant and timelines and things of that nature. And then we go ahead and sell it as a pride of ownership rental. So what I usually do is I used to write emails to my investors once a month saying, hey, here's the status, here's the update. I thought, why not create a video for each investor, share it with them, and then kind of share with you as well. The one thing, obviously, I want to do is maintain my investors' privacy, so they get initials. And other than that, it should be valuable for everyone. So let me bring up the current private investors, and we will go through that. So again, this is the current summary, basically a January 1st of 2020, recording this on the 31st of December 2019. I have 3 current projects with private investors. We have 10 projects. The other 7 are done with cash. We've chosen not to get private investors, but here is the summary. The first one actually is the oldest. We actually planned to sell this house in November. It was all done. Tenants moved in. We exceeded rents. The buyer was lined up, since October. Everything was going to plan. And then, when the new buyer went to get insurance, they found that they needed flood insurance, which is really odd for Fresno. But when we looked into it, back in the 1940s, when this community was built, there was an aqueduct behind it, and it was flagged as a 100-year flood area. It's long since not been there or not in use and not a risk. However, given it's a government agency, in this case FEMA, we have to go through a process that's now 60 days in duration. We had to get a surveyor to come out. We had them to indicate it's not in a flood zone. They had to send paperwork to FEMA. FEMA had to receive it. FEMA has to review it. Their systems went down for updating, and Thanksgiving, and then Christmas, and then New Year's, and on and on and on and on. We are hopeful that this will close in January. Really doesn't hurt the investor or I. This building, I've had a tenant in for 2 months now. It cash flows for me, even with this mortgage payment, what it basically is a mortgage payment. Given it's $102,000, I send out a check for $510 every month. And then what we are estimating, because this has been in escrow now for 60 days, the investor is going to get just about $5,000 in profit. Because again, we pay 6% monthly, and then they get 20% of the net profit, which on this one is going to be about 25 grand, hence $5,000 for them. And again, the property is we call it LaSalle. It's the street it's on. This should have been gone in November. But again, you never know in real estate and flipping. It appraised, it rented for more than we wanted. But, my buyer was going to have to pay $5,000 for flood insurance when he didn't need it, really didn't need it. The surveyor agreed. We just have to get FEMA to update the system so that when insurance comes back, it's not flagged as being in a 100-year flood area. Just crazy. But again, hopefully this will close in January, knock on wood. Next up, there's a house that we purchased with another one. Oh, I actually forgot. This house is 102. What was important about this is this was bought directly out of the multiple listing service. And again, it's another odd one, is I actually paid more than asking. It was listed for 100 and we agreed to pay 102. It doesn't happen often. But again, I saw the upside. I thought it was priced right. There was competition, and we got it. We spent 102. So this one here, again, out of the MLS, out of the multiple listing service. This one we paid less than asking. I believe this house was asking 120 or 125. We paid 100. We of course put in an investor in this case. They get $500 a month. This one should have closed in December, but unfortunately the first buyer backed out. We found a second buyer the next day, so it's all good. This second buyer is actually purchasing 2 properties, and they want to do what's called a portfolio loan. So we needed to wait till the second property is done, so that will close in February. Again, doesn't hurt us. It's rented. It cash flows. It's fine. Again, we're just going to wait till February for the second one to be done. It is also rented and moved in, so escrow is opened, and we expect to close this in early February. Again, on this one, the investor will make $5,000 estimated profit, and again is getting a check for $500 a month. Again, found in the multiple listing service. And then our final one, again, another 100K house, which will just closed. It just closed this month. This one we're going to hold for a little while because we likely have to give the tenant 90-day notice because they are Section 8 and those are the rules. And of course, I didn't want to give notice before Christmas or the New Year. So we have been sitting on this one for 2 weeks. I certainly could have. I'm losing 2 weeks, absolutely. But I have to feel good with myself, and I will wait till January 3rd or 4th to give notice, which means we will not even work on this one probably until April. There are chances they leave early, but that will be on them. We will gladly have them through the end of March, no problem. And then again, once we get inside, we will see what happens. Again, new purchase, not sure where the profit is going to come down on this one. So I'm estimating 5 to 6K profit for my private investors. So again, this is a summary of the 3 active private investors. These are all friends, everyone I've known for over a decade in this case. All of them, did all of them? Yeah, I worked with all of them in the past. So, good things. And again, I will send these notes to them so they watch what's going on. Again, private investors, create your own program, make sure they're protected, understand the ins and outs. I'll do these summaries monthly. Again, we have 10 active projects. 3 of them have private investors. The other are just sitting with cash. And, Happy New Year, everyone. If you're still watching, make sure you hit that subscribe button. And of course, leave any questions below. Have a great day.